Hello everybody, welcome back to another fun-filled episode. I've got two videos to showcase to you that have been making the rounds on the internet, but they both share a common theme. Now, what would be that theme? Oh yeah, gaslighting. Which is probably not a surprise to anyone, but nevertheless I will endeavor to showcase to you one additional comment on X that helps to highlight the political undercurrent within the gaming industry. First comes a comment from 𝐼𝐧𝐝. He states, and I quote, "Like clockwork, bro. The conversation is no longer about the actual game with these types of people." He's talking about us, by the way. "It's about how the game helps their side in whatever ideological war they are having with God knows who." End quote. Alright, so let's unpack that. So, in this one statement, the gaslighting is off the charts, as you can clearly see. One of the tactics you will notice from these people, and you will notice the most from these people, is how these rainbow cult Marxist liberal ideologues will always pretend not to know what the original complaint or even the original argument against them is. It kind of operates like a preemptive straw man argument. They are attempting to get ahead of any legitimate counter-arguments that they fear are coming. That way, all they need to do is act like they have no idea what's happening. It's kind of like feigning ignorance, but it just looks so pitiful when they do it, because they don't do it well. But now I need to respond to his comments at face value. So, 𝐸𝐸, we wouldn't need to discuss the political content, I should say, within gaming, if you people would just stop politicizing video games. That would be great. That would be fantastic. We are, and rightfully so, reacting to your asininity. So pretending that the response you're getting is entirely unwarranted is laughable. It's laughable because we're watching your Marxist studios and games volition themselves. That's funny. And you pretending to not see that is also quite funny. Now that 𝐼𝐧𝐝 is out of the way, let's jump into the first video, which is fairly straightforward. Take a listen.
There's something weird that has happened in the gaming community. I'm serious too when I say this. For some reason, everybody in the gaming community wants games to fail. It's very bizarre. Like, the whole thing with XDefiant is still, like, stumps me to this day. People complain about not having enough games to play, but when new games come out, even before they have played it, they're like, that game sucks, I'm not going to play it. Listen, man, if we keep tearing down these studios trying to make good games, like, yeah, not every single one is going to be fun, and not every single one is going to be a hit. But if we're sitting here, like, preying on its downfall before the game even comes out, what do you think's going to happen? Nobody's going to be investing in gaming and making new games.
Now, there's more to this video, but the rest of what he says is fairly irrelevant. Again, here's the common theme. He's trying to gaslight his listeners into believing that he has no idea why games are suddenly not rushing out to buy the next big thing. Even though our collective response has been, we don't want wokeness in our video games. This obvious fact is sidestepped by, what's his name here in this video, as he continues to do the same thing that 𝐼𝐧𝐝 did. He just acts like he has no idea why we are boycotting certain games. This, to me, seems like lying by omission. You cannot convince me that this guy, 𝐼𝐧𝐝, and others like them, do not comprehend the simple and straightforward anti-wokeness attitude that we have all plainly stated time and time again. So moving on, last but certainly not least, we have one final video that is so painful to watch because this guy's projection is about as transparent as a windowless white 1987 Dodge Ram van with the words "Free Candy" spray painted on the side. But listen for yourselves. Oh, and by the way, I'm not going to play the whole video because he swears during it, and I don't want that in this video. But here, listen.
Tell all your PC friends about this, Greg.
Hey, PC friends who haven't been caught and put in jail yet for being pedophiles, I would really love it if you would help Andy by modding this. I know you love your mods. I know you. The developers, they had a vision and they made a game, but you say, that. I'd like to put this cube in it that breaks everything. If you could help Dragon Age Inquisition get running before Chris Hansen and the FBI break down your door, that'd be great.
If You'll Be Seeing Me on the News Soon had a face, it would definitely be that guy. But again, I must now direct my attention to what he actually said, even though ad hominems are sometimes fun. For the third time, because this is my third example, we have a person pretending not to understand something. This time, it's the driving force behind mods. Mods, as some of you may very well know, is 100%, and here's the key, optional. Meaning, no one is pointing a gun at your head and demanding you install any mod that you do not wish to install. This fundamental fact is always omitted by these recklessly deceitful propagandists. Yes, it is the case that sometimes a gamer might want to change a game to fit their vision instead of the developers. Absolutely. The perfect compromise to this action is to allow both sides of the political aisle that freedom of choice. The freedom to decide to mod or not to mod your game. But that isn't good enough for Mr. Stranger Danger over here, because Mr. Please Don't Look Inside My Thumb Drive wants full control over how you play video games. These dictators want you to play video games their way, not yours. There is no you do you. There is only submit to us or else. Which, by the way, I might add, that or else is a limp-wristed threat because they lack the authority to dictate what games we play, what movies we watch, and what comics to read, etc. The response we are seeing on X, on YouTube, and elsewhere on the internet is a collective seething of the rainbow cult because they, in fact, are not the majority. They are a drop in the ocean. And like I said before, and it bears repeating, they're angry that they can't force us to play the games that they want. There's no law dictating that we must play, I don't know, The Last of Us 3 Super Woke Edition, lest we be deducted social credit points from our social credit score system. See, that's not in place yet. That's why they're so unhappy with us. That's why they're so angry in their responses to us. Because there's no control over us. I would say yet, but I don't think that's ever actually going to happen. Which brings me to my final point here. The bottom line, or you can call it a white pill if you like, is that the Rainbow Cult are going to continue to quadruple down on their agenda until they inevitably go bankrupt. And they eventually will. Their numbers are simply not large enough to continue this for much longer. If they wish to commit financial suicide, so be it. Volition learned their lesson the hard way. Game Informer just learned their lesson the hard way. Kotaku does not have that much longer to live. Friends, we're winning. Slowly, but we are indeed winning. And finally, I believe, and this is my own personal opinion, this is just a thought, this isn't, I'm not Nostradamus, I'm not making a prediction here, this is just an idea I want to throw out there. I believe that Ubisoft may be the first relatively major studio to collapse soon. But all it's going to take is a massive company to go belly up. What I mean is, I'm talking about Rockstar, Bethesda, etc. Once one of those studios falls, that is going to send ripples across the entire gaming industry, and they'll stop this foolishness. Immediately. They'll stop it. At that point in time, they're not going to want to play with fire because of the third-degree burns will be a little too painful for them to be dealing with. So, obviously, they're not going to want to play that game anymore. And they won't. They're going to lose, everyone. Don't worry. We're winning. All the responses that you're seeing, all of the replies from Mighty Keith and from Alyssa Mercante and from Game Informer, PC Gamer, so on and so forth, all of the major people, all of the major, air quote, journalists and so on and so forth, they're responding to a losing battle that they know they are losing. That's all that they are flailing. They're like fish out of water. They know they're about to die, and so they flip and flap and flail around. Okay, they are flopping fish out of water. Just understand that it's a little white pill. They cannot do this forever. It doesn't matter how much money Finky, launders into the situation. It doesn't matter how much money he shovels into this. He can't do it forever. You can't lose the type of money that the industry is losing on a regular basis. You can't. The tables are turning, the pendulum is swinging hard to the other side, and when it does, all we have to do is gatekeep, and gatekeep hard. And we will. And these people will never be allowed to do this ever again. And that's all I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do all the social stuff. I pour my heart and soul in these videos for the limited time that I do. I'm a busy guy. If I could do this, if I could pump out a video every other day, I would. But I can't because I'm a busy guy. I'm doing stuff. So, until next time, you know what to do. Have fun.